Hi, good morning. Hello. I decided to turn the camera this way because actually it's really bright this morning, as you can see on my face there. And I was just facing into the light, a bit like the video of the bookshelves, you could hardly see that. So anyway, I faced you this way and I think you can see quite well. Okay, so my plan today is to do a drawing of these lovely socks on my feet that my sister sent over yesterday. They're remarkably cosy and really thick, so I can do without slippers. So I've got some Indian ink. Thanks to Maura for those socks. She actually sent me 2 pairs. So I've got watered down Indian ink on a paper towel, and I've made it into a drawing tool. As in, it's not flailing about everywhere. I've just made a shape that allows me to make some general marks. And so I'll kind of just explain the general shape of the shadows in the socks with this first. It's kind of a nice mark. I like using ink watered down like this. It's a kind of an easy way in. Just getting this other foot in front. And because it's watered down, it's really not got anything of the real dark Indian ink quality. I'm just going to use some more there. Okay. There's midnight coming to join us. Just going to try and find a spot in the sun, I'd say. Can you see her there? Where is she? Yeah, she is. She was sitting right here, only the camera fell on her. Right. It didn't, she wasn't too scared, but it was a kind of a near miss, actually. Okay. Yeah, so I'm doing the foot that's in front there now, which is pretty dark here where the toes turn. I'm coming down. And then to the curves. Anything that curves around the body describes the cross section of it. So you could do well to find the curve. And there's the heel. Okay, I'm sure I may as well at this early stage introduce something of my pajama leg as well. Again, because it's helpful that it curves around my leg, and it's a bit darker over here because it's turning away from the light. And I could maybe use a bit of white with it to describe the light side here. Just a bit of light mixed in with it will work, I think. A bit of white mixed in with it. I should say these pastels are neo pastels, and really they're very buttery and thick, and they stay. They're opaque. They don't show through. They don't let things show through underneath, and I really love that about them. Because, for example, let me just show you what I could do. So I'm going to do a bit more shadow. This is after drying out fairly quickly. A bit more shadow there. Say I've kind of overshot the shape of the foot, and then I can simply come back in with the oil pastel, describing the edge of the foot shape again with the oil pastel. It's quite a nice way to define an edge. I actually didn't really extend the Indian ink far enough beyond to describe that, to make that point very clear. So I'm going to draw the heel now of my foot on the other side and show you what I mean. So I'll just find out where the heel should be located, and then I can kind of paint over the background with this oil pastel so that it's more clearly defined. Okay. So that's why I like that. It's quite nice for doing figure drawing as well. Like if you've got a minute or so to draw a whole body, it's quite nice to do this, to lay on the Indian ink, and then without too much preciousness around the edge, and then you can come back in and explain the edge with this oil pastel. The other thing you can do, of course, is go back in. Oh God. The other thing you can do is go back in with the charcoal. So this is willow charcoal. I'm just going to crack it into a smaller piece. It's about 1 inch wide, 1 inch long, and I'm going to turn it on its side so that I can identify more fully the dark where the one foot overlaps the other, because the foot on top is a little bit lighter. So I'll just find with the eyes half closed, it's quite a good way of locating shadow and light without being distracted by all the other things. Here. I can make this a bit darker here too. There's kind of nice cable knit in the socks that could also be explored maybe. That might be for another day. Maybe a little bit I can do now. I think more important here really is to establish the tone so that I can get a feel for the shape of the feet underneath the socks. And then in the background between the feet, actually it's my yoga mat there, I might as well use some turquoise. I've got that turquoise paint, don't I, in here? It's a little squirt of turquoise there that I can use to do the yoga mat in the background. This is what I love about this carry-on, that you can just reach for whatever you want. Oh, now I'm changing my feet altogether, trying to lift up the painting. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to put in the yoga mat there in the V shape between the feet is where I can see it. It's not quite this bright, but I like that it's, I want it to be that bright. I just think it'll work for the picture. And I can outline the shape of this foot a little bit with the yoga mat too. A bit of water into it now, I'll let it dissipate a bit more. And I'm not worried about it reading as a yoga mat. I just like the turquoise. Okay. And now what'll I do about the colour there? I think, do you know what? I may as well just carry on with the watercolour. It seems to be the quickest thing now that the brush is in my hand. What's that colour like? Yeah, that might work there to make this a bit different from the black underneath. It's not quite that colour, but I think it's okay. Not from the black, but yeah, from the Indian ink colour. I mean, just push that up a bit. And over here too. I think the idea is just for there to be something similar on the top of each foot. Although I'm not really that happy with that colour. I want it to be more true to the colour that's actually there. I think it has some cerulean blue mixed in with it. So let me try that and see. Some kind of blue needs to be in there now, I think. So this is the cerulean blue in with it. And it knocks the colour out of it a bit. So I'm happier with that now. A bit of water to spread it about a bit more. And I'm checking where the shadow changes to light, because that's going to explain again the form underneath. So I want there to be the right direction to that shadow where it becomes light here. And then there's a little bit on the heel that's a similar colour. And you would expect it to catch the light, but it's not, because it's beyond the line of the windowsill or something. It'll probably start shining in the light now in a second, because the sun is moving across really nicely. I love it in here in the morning. It's so beautifully bright and cheerful. At least at this time in the morning. For a while I was getting up fierce early and there was no light at all coming in. In Scotland at this time of the year, you wouldn't have very bright mornings until this time. What is it now? It's about 8 o'clock. No, it's not. It's 9 o'clock now. The girls are gone for a good. They've gone to school. Thank God. I was touch and go for a while there. And they had a late night last night. And so did Erin. I actually saw a really good movie at a friend's house called The Price of Everything, which is to do with the art world. And it was fascinating. I'll try and I want to read it, to watch it again, because actually there was some amazing quotes, by artists. There's a woman artist in particular, I can't remember her name, but she said her work sells for millions now in America. And she said, as a woman, it's very hard for your work to sell before you're dead. And, you're either very old or dead for your work to be selling for a decent price. I just thought there I could start canvassing and saying, right, so let's change that. yeah, but it was fascinating. And there was an artist, Larry Poons, who I'd recommend you look up. He was really wise and lovely, full of life still. Driving his motorbike, he must have been close to 80. So this is what art does for you, keeps you lively. Don't know if you're still even there. Oh yes, you are. Good. 2 more minutes. No, what am I doing here? I think I'll maybe bring... Oh yeah, the light really is important there in the toe, because really now what I want is a creamy white rather than that white. And I know I have one somewhere, but just for time, no, I'm going to use a skin colour one, will I? Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, so instead of the light on the toe there, the white light, I'm going to use this skin colour. Just really for time more than anything else. And there's a tiny touch of it there, I think. And over here it's shining quite brightly. And of course now I can't put in my skin because that'll be the same as the socks. I'm sure I could use this, give myself a nice tan. And maybe if I put some white over the skin colour up here, it'll read as being less skin-like. Actually, I want to use a light yellow to change that colour. I'll bring some of the yellow down there too, because the light is now falling there in the lovely pattern and in here. I think your eye picks up things that are looking the same. And then there's some here as well. Okay. And just a final few moves there I might do a little bit.